You probably got some old beats that's just sitting on your hard drive that can be used for sync licensing, but they're formatted for an artist. Let me show you how to take an old beat and turn it into arrangement for sync licensing. Let's start by opening this track. Now you can see this is an old track. I even called it The Lifestyle Finished Reality Show. Now, just to show you how old this track is, and if you can see, it might be kind of small, but it says created August 16th, 2015. And that's a year before I got my first placement. So you can see I've been working on this stuff for a long time. Let's go ahead and open up the project. So let's open up the mixer and let's see if I can see what is actually missing. This plugin, Albino, which is on this track. Now, if I go to, let's search for this. Rob Papin Albino. Here's the site. Let's see. Oh, they don't have the plugin. What a shocker. This, and if we go to their virtual instruments, now it does say Albino 3 Legend. I can still buy it, but I'm not going to take the chance and have to read what I need. So honestly, that's just something I won't use. And that's a little tip for you. If you have your music, make sure you bounce your files out as WAV. So that way you can just at least use the audio. Because now I'm going to have to go back and try to fill in this whole one channel with whatever I had, some kind of arpeggiator or sound. All right, so here is the track. Now let's listen to it, how it sounds in its current state from 2015. Okay, got some bones. But you can see I'm missing this main melody. I might have to fill in something from it. Let's get to the end. Okay, so that's got some good bones, but I'm gonna transform this old beat and show you how to make it into sync license. So it has some bones. So first off, if you notice, I do have a lot of tracks. I got layer kicks, layer claps. Now nothing is wrong with that, but I've gotten better over the years with sound selection and sound quality. So most of the time I'm only using one kick, one drum, one hi-hat. So generally my tracks would be less, and having less tracks saves time for mixing and it can get you through your ideas faster. One thing I'm gonna do, this main string motif right here, and these are loops that I use. I don't know where I got them from, but it's probably some royalty-free pack. Now see, they're layered. I'm gonna use this low layer and bring it at the beginning, just to add one of the main motifs to the beginning. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, see? That already changes it. Hi-hat for some motion. Okay, so now we got that. So now in the second part of it, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but this time, since if you see here, I have this little lead right here. So I'm going to take out all these extra string hits and just have them on the downbeats. Take out that one. Keep that one. So I want to take out these, and I'm just working with audio real fast, not doing nothing fancy. Take out that one. Take out that. Let's keep going. Take out these two. And I want to keep this ending. So actually now thinking about it, what I actually want to do is I'm going to combine all of these. So I just joined it, and I'm actually going to switch them, because now when I play the track at the beginning, it gives less, right? It's more open. Remember, I still need to add something because of this missing instrument. But when we go into the second part, now I have more hits. See? And it works. So what I'm going to do here on this second half, I'm just going to take right here the mid strings that I had, and I'm just going to cut it off. So you can see right here at this loop, what I've done, I have the kind of main string motif playing, and then 4 bars, I just added it. The same thing, it's just an octave higher to add some more motion and tension to it. Let's listen. You hear it? Right? And then after that, I want to kind of change it up just a little bit because I like this as the bridge going into the hook. So I'm going to change these up just a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make the string sparse again, just like the beginning, because I'm going to add that instrument back, right? And this is all hindsight. I can hear it in my head what I'm going to add to this track. So that's why I'm able to just cut things out and understand what I need to cut out. Let's just do that one. I want to keep this entail on here. Let's cut out this. Now let's listen. So a little variation. And then I already know that I want to drop these drums. I want to drop the hi-hats on the last 4 bars. Let's see. I want to drop the kicks on those last bars. Oh, sorry, that was one more kick I didn't see. There we go. So that already instantly adds some different motion to the track. What I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to quantize all these hi-hats just for the project's sake because I just didn't like the swing of them. That was a decent change, and that was just with the strings. So with this arpeggio, I don't know. Let's see. What can I add to this? It was a little ARP. I'm going to go to my tried and true plugin that I use for ARPs and its native instruments, the original Massive. I'm going to add a MIDI effect, arpeggiator. So I'm going to kind of recreate. I don't know the original sound, so I'm just guessing. That sounds aggressive. Let's just see something that fits. That's not bad. Okay, I know how I'm gonna change that right there. All I'm gonna do is do a simple EQ, just so this video don't go forever. Okay. Now that adds some motion. Look at that, simple EQ. That's all I did. Now I already know what I'm finna do. So that's like my pluck mid. So I'm gonna copy the same track, and all I'm gonna do is transpose this down an octave lower. Right? So we got the mid playing for the intro of the beat, and then I'm just gonna move this over, and this is my pluck low. Right? So let's listen to how it transitions. Now you see why I chose the low sounds right there? This low sound counteracts this high sounding lead in the track. And most of the strings playing are high strings. Right, so it just adds a different feel, and it's the same instrument. It's the same instrument, it's just an octave lower. So we got that. Now, for this bridge part, I want to change it up a little bit. So let me see, what are these notes playing so I can replay this back? Let's see, what is this note? Boom. There we go. Okay, there you go. I found the key. So now I want to change it up on this bridge part. Let's see what I'm gonna play. I liked it. That was just a freestyle. That was a freestyle off the top of my head in the same key, just hitting random notes. Let me listen to that. Okay, that's good. Now what I want to do, now if we go down here, I got 3 basses. Now I want to change this bass to give a little bit of variety to the bass, because one thing that I've learned when you making music for sync licensing is you want to have each element be able to stand on its own. And what I mean by each element, so eventually when I bounce this track out, I'm going to make alternative versions. So there'll be a version where I'm just using drums and bass, or there'll be a version where it's no drums, and then there'll be a version where it's just drums, bass, and sparse instruments, not everything in there, called the underscore. And these are the things you want to give to your music library, so that way when the editor is picking songs, you have different variations, right? So if we just look at all the ones I have soloed, these basses are kind of just doing the same thing through the track. Now, I want to change the basses on the bridge to give a little bit more change. Now that I know the key, I'm going to delete all those basses on there. Go to my sub bass. That's too high. Too high. That's low. If you got headphones on, so I'm finna just freestyle a sub bass for the bridge. That's it. That's one take. And that comes with practice of knowing scales and just understanding. If you stay in your scales, you're pretty much going to be good to go. Let's hear that bass. It's a real low bass. So I obviously have this Dutch bass. Let's see how this sounds. Oh, that's too low. Okay, that's okay. Okay. Let's lower that volume. Let's see how it sounds. There we go. Breakdown. Coming into the hook. And I'm actually too on the hook, I'm gonna change the bass because I noticed the bass was the same as the verses. So let's see. This that Dutch bass. I like that, so I'm gonna just do something real quick. Oh, I like that. Now let's just listen to it with the drums and bass. Like I said, you're going to want to give your music library different versions of the track. So if we just listen to it with the drums and bass, not bad. Not bad for a one take. Like I said, that comes with practice, being able to make something. It doesn't have to be the craziest, best bass line you ever made in your life. That's one thing I figured out over time. You learn to make good enough, right? Nothing is wrong with good enough. Even if you're making stuff for major artists, there's some point where the track needs to be just good enough, right? You have to finish it at some point, right? I heard a story Quincy Jones was saying about Michael Jackson and doing Beat It. They were doing the mix and they did all these different mixes. I think over like 50 mixes. And at the end of the day, the first or second mix was the one they used for the album. So even though you think you want to be perfect, you just ain't got time for all that. So that's the track right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all of this back half because I don't need it. I kept the sting there. And then I'm just going to take this first half and just repeat it. Now, let's see. A few little things. The drums kind of sound the same. So let's change up the drums a little bit. Okay, I like starting. I like that. With just the clap first. See, we changed it. It already sounds different. Then what I'm going to do is take out some kicks to come into the second part. There go that snare. You see how it changed. I'm gonna add the riser right here so it can come into the bridge. No. Look at that. That's real time doing it. The second half of that bridge. Getting ready for the verse. The last part is this sting ending. So we have at the end. Now you listen to it, it ended pretty nice on that punctuation of the strings, but what you usually want to have is a hit at the end. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all my kicks and I'm going to cut off everything at the end because I don't need the rest of the kicks in the track. All I want is this first hit right here. So let's listen to the ending now with that hit. Let's see if I take out these strings, how it would sound with that hit. See, it needs a punctuation. You see how it doesn't sound? So first thing, I'm going to add a bass in there. Put that. All right, already sounding better. Now, let's add these strings. I want the strings to hit on that first hit, so I'm tightening up this audio file. So it should, if I put it right here, it should hit with the kick and the bass. You see that? Let's take out the riser so you can really hear how that sounds. I love how that it just ends the scene. Could probably bring this bass, tighten that up so it's not as long. Woo! That's nice. Add the riser back to add it. Let's listen. Right? And in editing, this is just, I like to split my things into different phases. So this is the creation phase. And what I would do is I would bounce each track out and then mix it. I don't like working in the same project because to me, it just shifts your focus, right? This is creation. I want to think about mixing in a different phase. So when I have all my audio files, then I'm more likely or less likely to add something new instead of staying in production mode. So even though that riser at the end, you can hear it bubbling off at the end of it, that in the mixing phase, I would just chop that down so you won't hear it. Oh, it's actually both of those. You see how it rolls up in transition, and then as soon as that hit with the kick and then with the strings hit, right? So here's a tip for the sting ending. Even though this is a sample, right? Sample strings, all I'm doing is using the root note of the sample. So this first hit, since this is the first hit, it's going to be the first hit over here again. It's just like when I'm playing the bass, the root note is this note, which is a what? E, D, F, 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 right? That's the root note of this song, F. So that's how it ends. So as you can see, I took this old song that I had. The drums were fine, right? I can do a little tweaking in drums in the EQing and stuff all in the mixing phase to make them the hit a little bit harder, bring them more modern. But like I said, this is just the production phase, and it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So I probably would off camera shorten this a little bit. It doesn't need to be this long. I could make this track probably 2 minutes if I take out a couple of more things. Now you see the process of taking something old and making it into something new for sync license. I mean, now what did you think about that? You see, from the looks of how I edited this song and added a few little elements, I was able to take this old beat from 2015 that had their bare bones and make it into something I can actually use for this track would be great in a reality show like Love and Hip Hop or something like that. So when you go back through your catalog, you probably have a whole bunch of beats just sitting on your hard drive. And if you want to get into sync licensing, go back to them and practice using this video. Save this video and practice like, okay, he did this here, he arranged it like this, because you already made the beats and you probably have a solid foundation already. You just need to tweak a few little elements. If you noticed, I only added one instrument, and that was because the plugin wasn't available because this was made so a long time ago. But the only extra instrument I added was one plugin. Everything else was already there. I just need to arrange different things. So don't be afraid to go back on your old beats, because those old beats can actually make you money. And if you've been watching my other videos, when I show my income updates, I've made beats from 2018 that still make me money now in 2023 and probably will continue to make royalties. So you're leaving money on the table, not going back to your old tracks. But if you want to get more tips about sync licensing, how to arrange your tracks, and just general information, check out one of these videos.